Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our session, Maximise Your Membership. This is a national webinar that is being put out to everyone across the country. We've got a nice number of people joining us today, and the aim of the webinar is to tell you a little bit more about your membership. If you're not already a member of the FSB, it's to give you an idea of what's involved and what you get for your membership and all the benefits that are there. Or it may be that you've been a member for several years and you've forgotten about the benefits. Either way, this session is designed to give you an idea of what FSB has to offer. I'm recording the session today, so you don't have to take any notes unless you want to. We don't have a chat facility, but you will see on the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A box. So if you've got any questions along the way, if you can add them into the Q&A box, and then at the last quarter of an hour of the session, we will devote to answering your questions, and hopefully we'll get through all your questions. If we don't get through them today, I will definitely get back to you afterwards as well. So don't worry, we will answer any questions that come along. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to introduce you to our panelists. We've got Jonathan Keeble, and he is an FSB member. It's really nice to have an FSB member come along and tell you about how they use the benefits, because although we can say what's going on, really, when you hear it from a member, it actually means so much more, I think. We've got Carmen, who is Carmen Hanif. She's the development manager for Devon. We will have one of our regional sales managers shortly joining us, and he'll tell you a little bit about the benefits as well. And we've got James Cordiner, who's from our tax investigations team at Markel Tax. So I thought, first of all, if everybody could just take a minute, each of our panelists, just to give you a little background of themselves and how they fit into the FSB. Literally just a minute, just to introduce themselves. So starting with you, Jonathan, if you could just let us all know what you do for the FSB.
Yeah, so I'm Jonathan Keeble. I'm the business owner of a marketing business consultancy and HR company called Business Strategy Group that's based in Plymouth with clients as far as Scotland. So I've been an FSB member since 2017, and currently I'm the FSB area lead for Plymouth for the past 5 years and 9 months, which I only just found out today how long that's been. So for those that come on the FSB Devon virtual networking events, just to let you know, that's on the first Wednesday of the month. So you'll recognise me being there as a host. So hopefully I'll catch up with some of you then. Back to you, Ness. You're on mute, Ness.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Carmen, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for FSB?
Absolutely. So I'm a development manager for the FSB. Every region in the country has a development manager, and essentially we cover everything that the amazing FSB services doesn't cover. So that's all around our campaigning, our advocacy, highlighting local businesses in the areas and trying to uplift them and giving them extra opportunities, and also lots of work around signposting. So we're the extra support that you might need for your businesses, and we're available. You can contact us at any time. So I'll go through more of what we do later on, but that's us in a nutshell.
Okay, thanks very much, Carmen. James?
Yeah, thanks, Ness. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name's James Cordiner. I'm an ex-inspector of taxes that moved over from the dark side about 19 years ago now, and I head up the tax investigations team at Markel Tax. We've been providing support and assistance to FSB members for more than 25 years now. All the tax consultants that work on my team come from similar backgrounds, so coming from a revenue background with many years, probably more than we care to remember, but many years experience in the department, and that does give us the expertise and insight that you need when dealing with HMRC inquiries. We've all been there and done it, so to speak. Happy to take any questions as the session goes along. Happy also to share my contact details for any follow-up if you don't want to raise your hand on the webinar today. And I'm quite easy to find on LinkedIn if you want to connect with me. I'm always happy to make new connections on LinkedIn as well. So enough from me for the moment. I'll pass you back to Ness. Thank you.
Thanks ever so much, James. My name's Ness Gale, and I work for the FSB as a operational support coordinator. Mainly I cover Devon and Cornwall, but sometimes I cover national events as well. And as I say, this is a national event. I'll put my details no, I won't put my details into the chat box, sorry, because we're not using the chat box, but I will give you details later so that if you want to contact me, you can. We're also going to have an area sales manager join us shortly. But first of all, before we do that, I think because the tax investigations is such an important area and such a great benefit that we have for our FSB members, James, if I could just perhaps ask you to go into a bit more detail about what the tax investigation actually does cover and how it can help our members.
Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to give an overview of what the level of cover is all about, really. It's always great to have an opportunity to speak at these events and share a bit of knowledge. Now, as you'll appreciate, in the shortish time that we've got, it's difficult to cover everything that we do, but I would like to leave some key points with you in relation to the tax investigations cover element of the FSB policy. So I've mentioned earlier on that all my team are ex-HMRC, so we've got the inside track on the inquiry process, which, to be honest, can be a very difficult and stressful time for anyone going through. So it's nice to be able to give that level of support, that we can. Because of our experience, it gives us, the opportunity to give you the best advice and enables us to preempt any situations that might arise during a tax investigation. We know how HMRC operate, we know how inspectors think, because, as I said, we've been there and done it. So it gives us, a bit more of an inside knowledge of how things operate. We do pride ourselves very much on giving honest, straightforward advice to the members that we deal with, and the focus is always on the intention of getting the best possible outcome for the members that we represent in the situation that we're dealing with. As I said, we know that HMRC inquiries can be very stressful, time-consuming. It's not a quick process. On average, an inquiry will take 18 to 24 months, and to be honest, some inquiries last for years before they get resolved. So it's good to have that support there. There's three particular things I want to leave with you today, just to give you a bit, hopefully, more of an understanding of what you've got access to as an FSB member. So the first thing is it's a representational scheme. That basically means, under the terms of the policy, we're the appointed rep to deal with inquiry or VAT dispute on your behalf, and that means that we deal directly with HMRC in relation to all matters arising during the course of the inquiry or the dispute. So once we're appointed, we'll touch base with HMRC, confirm what our role is and our involvement with you in terms of representation, and that really provides a really important buffer between yourself and HMRC, which is helpful during the course of the inquiry process. We will keep you informed and up to date exactly with what's happening during the course of the inquiry. That allows you to focus on the day-to-day running of the business, which is obviously important. We are really always keen to reduce the stress levels and reduce the disruption to your day-to-day business, because that's vitally important. These things, as I say, don't get resolved in a matter of days. They tend to go on for some time. So we act as that buffer, say, between you and HMRC during that period. It's important in these things always to establish the facts and respond to HMRC's inquiries on an appropriate and reasonable basis within the relevant deadlines, and that's again what we're there to do during the course of proceedings. A couple other points just in relation to the representational side of things. So our role is to minimise the impact of the inquiry on you and your business. We can guarantee you, provide a robust defence where this is needed, and we will address any issues that may arise where some adjustments may be due, but we'll do that by minimising your exposure to any additional liability and penalties, which is really important in these things. So the second point I want to speak about is just the value of the benefit. The reality is that even if you keep excellent business records, it doesn't exempt you from being selected for a tax investigation. And that can be done at any point in time. There are still random inquiries that are conducted by HMRC. The costs of defending an inquiry can easily run into thousands of pounds. So it's important to know that that costs are all covered under the policy. The policy actually covers you up to £100,000 per claim, so there's no need to worry about that financial impact when we're involved in representing you. I'd always recommend that you contact the FSB and notify your claim as soon as possible. It's much better for us to be involved at the earliest possible opportunity. That said, we get involved in cases at different times and different stages of the process, and I have been involved in a case that actually had been on the go for more than 2 years. In HMRC, we're pursuing between tax, VAT, interest and penalties about £250,000, and we were able to help that member where there was actually no liability due at all. And so that was quite late in the day, the 11th hour, I would say, but we did manage to get an excellent outcome for that member, and indeed the right outcome, which is really important. Now, as you would expect with any insurance, in most incidents are covered, but there are certain exclusions within the policy. I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. All I'd say is, if in doubt, please speak to us or speak to the FSB when you've had a notification from HMRC, and we can confirm and clarify, how we can help. Thirdly, but most importantly, this is a free service. It's a right of membership. There's absolutely no cost to utilising this service. There's no catch in that at all. You get the benefit of our expertise for free. If you are a VAT registered business, you will get a VAT only invoice at the end of the inquiry because we're required by HMRC to do that. However, it is recoverable in your next VAT return, so there is no net cost to you. So when we say it's free, it is absolutely free. We'll also cover any reasonable costs. If you have an accountant, if we need to liaise with your accountant in relation to the accounts preparation or anything else in relation to the tax return that's under inquiry, we will liaise with them as needs be, and we'll cover any reasonable costs to do that, again, as part of the process, providing those are agreed in advance. So just as a bit of summing up, when you're facing a tax inquiry or a VAT dispute, it is really important to have the best support and assistance that's available. And we're confident at Markel that that's what you get from the team here. There will probably be other comments on other areas of access that you've got, but I'm just going to mention very, very briefly that you do have access to tax and VAT advice lines, and hopefully some of you have used those. They're based in the office I'm in today in Rugby, and they operate during normal office hours, Monday to Friday. We also have the legal advice line, which is accessible 24/7, and they deal with a variety of issues, including property disputes, employment law, and license issues, to name but a few. So it's really important to be aware that you've got access to those services as well. I've probably overrun because I sometimes do, so apologies, Ness, if I have. But thank you for listening. I trust it's been useful. So I'm more than happy to take any queries if you have any as things proceed. But I'll pass you back to Ness, and apologies if I have overrun this.
Thanks very much, James. Well, it's such an important benefit that I don't mind you overrunning a little bit. If anybody's got any questions about the tax investigation or anything else, do please put them into the Q&A box, and we will come to them at the end. I'm going to turn now to one of our membership advisors, Anita Johnson, and she's one of our fabulous membership advisors who covers the Southwest. And she really is the expert on all of our benefits. Anita, perhaps you could just give us a little rundown of some of the main benefits that being an FSB member gets, some of the main benefits that you get along the way.
Yeah, very, very happy to do that. Hello,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Good afternoon. So I'm going to just briefly run through all of the benefits, but it will be very brief because I've been asked to concentrate on the legal hub and to give you a bit more information about that. So if you have any questions about each of the benefits that I'm going to just outline for you, then do feel free to come back to us in the Q&A, or indeed to get hold of myself or anybody afterwards to go into things in more detail for you. So we have a huge range of benefits available for you. We have everything that you need as a business owner if you are thinking of employing somebody, or indeed if you already employ people. We can cover you for everything that you need around HR. So all of your contracts of employment, your staff handbooks, free legal advice, cover for tribunal if you do have an issue that you're facing with your employees, and lots of support in dealing with the day-to-day management of your teams. If you've got employees, then clearly you're going to be interested in health and safety as well. So our package includes a lot of assistance with health and safety. So you have a free advice line. You can speak to NEBOSH qualified advisors on the end of the phone as often as you need to. We have all your documentation. So things like your health and safety policy documents, your risk assessments, method statements, accident reporting sheets, and a full suite of training modules for you. There are 23 modules. You won't need all of them, hopefully. Some of them are things like construction industry working at heights, other things like food safety basics, dealing with risk assessments, method statements. So if you're not sure what your obligations are as the manager of your business or owner of your business, then you can upskill yourself in that direction with our health and safety training, which is all free. Again, if you've got employees, I don't know if you have heard of employee assistance programs, but we have access to a lovely benefit called FSB Perks, which you can either utilize just for yourself as a business owner, just to help you and your family. You can offer it to your senior management team. You can give it to every single employee, or you can offer them access and allow them to pay for it themselves. So it's extremely flexible for a growing business. That gives them several different things along the lines of access to a GP over the telephone, or on Zoom, and they can usually get a same-day appointment for that and their family members. Free counselling over the telephone for them and family members over the age of 16. It also gives them discounts to gym memberships, and they can get advice through the charities and advice lines that are held on the platform. They can get information about newborns, about dealing with elderly parents, financial difficulties. They can also get, which is really handy in this day and age, cash back on all of their supermarket shopping with the main supermarkets. So Tesco's, Morrison's, Marks and Spencer's, Waitrose, Sainsbury's. You can usually get about 4 or 5% back on everything you spend in a supermarket, which is great. It's a few £100s for a family, I would think, that they can get back through that scheme. So do take a look at FSB Perks. It's really useful. It is a bolt-on, by the way, and it starts at £4.50 a month per person that you would like to put onto it. If you need help with debt recovery, this is another thing that we can assist you with. Our members do quite often have issues with debt recovery, so please speak to the debt recovery team. They can help you. We've got free business banking with the cooperative business bank. So again, if you're spending a lot of money on either your day-to-day bank charges, or if you're paying for an overdraft facility, for example, the arrangement fee every year, as an FSB member, you would get that free. We also offer an insurance service with invaluable help and advice from the insurance team. They do a great job, and they can also give you free credit checks. So if you extend credit to your business customers and you give 30 days credit and you're not sure whether they're good for it, you can get some free business credit checks as well to help you. And if you want somebody to work hard on reducing your insurance costs, then the insurance service team will help you to do that. We can help you with pensions and payroll as well. We have a service, £5 a pay slip to do your pensions and payroll. So if you really don't want to spend your time doing that, you can pass it over to us and we can do it for you. We have payment solutions, EPOS and payment terminals through WellPay. £49 a month will get you an EPOS system and a terminal. So for those of you in the hospitality industry, that's a really great offer. We also give you FSB Care, so that's for you as the owner of the business. This is free for you. So if you're struggling with mental well-being or a health issue, we can arrange a course of treatment to help you get back on your feet and get back up and running, and to sort of give you some assistance and support through some any illnesses that might be affecting you at the moment. I still haven't covered all of them, but I'm conscious that you want me to talk about the Legal Hub as well. So I'm just going to dive into that now. The Legal Hub is accessed through your dashboard. So if you haven't logged on as a member, please do that. Do it now or do it straight after. Get yourself onto the dashboard and have a good look around. You will see there that you can log into our Legal Hub, and in that hub you will find a lot of really useful help and information. You've got sections to do with GDPR, to do with the care industry, to do with recruitment and HR, health and safety, cyber awareness. So there's lots of different sections, and each of these sections have tabs that will take you to guides on how to deal with issues and how to download documents around those different issues that you might be facing. So there are over 1,400 documents, guides, checklists, letters, contracts available for you in the Legal Hub. It's a little bit like having membership to something like Simply Docs or Rocket Lawyer, which would usually cost you £300 or £400 a year to access that. But for an FSB member, those documents are completely free for you. And also that is backed up by 24/7 access to a team of around 55 solicitors of varying specialisms. So if you're downloading a contract and you don't understand it, or you want to change a clause, or you'd like to add something into it, you can pick the phone up, arrange an appointment with the legal team, and they will explain what it is that you're not sure of. They'll help you fill it out if you're not certain what to put in the different places in the templates. And as I say, if you need to add contract clauses in, then they can help you with that as well. They also have services to help you if you don't want to do certain documents. So for example, if you're really busy and you don't want to do a contract of employment, you earn more money doing something else, you can instruct Markel Law, who deal with all of our legal services for us. You can instruct them to get on and do it for you. And the prices of all of the things that we do, so whether it's an employment contract or whether it's health and safety consultation or employing Markel as your responsible person, for health and safety, for example, you can go on to the Legal Hub and you can see where to book these things and pay for them, and all the prices and the explanation and help and advice around that is on the Legal Hub for you. If you can't find a subject or a topic, you'll see there are 3 ways to get hold of us on the Legal Hub. So you can either dial in direct through the telephone number top left on the screen, and they will get someone to call you back in an hour. You can book a call yourself, and again, they'll come back to you at or around the time that you've asked for, or you can go into the chat box, and I'll let you into a little known secret. If you click on something else, it'll turn from a chat bot into a person. So that's a really nice tip I like to give people, because I hate chatbots. So feel free to get in touch with the legal team through the dashboard. I hope that wasn't too rushed for you. I think I'm out of time there, so back to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a kind of whistle-stop tour, really, wasn't it, of the benefits? But please add questions for that you like Anita to ask you, any questions that you've got. Something I was thinking of, somebody told me that there's some sort of payment for jury service that FFB members get. Is that right?
That's right, yes. We cover anybody on a business's payroll and the owners of the business. So if they get called to do jury service, then the FSB will pay up to £250 for up to 2 weeks. And I learned when I joined the FSB that is apparently the statistically average length of a jury service, 2 weeks, which is why it's set to 2 weeks. That will be paid to the business owner to help you to get over the fact that you're either losing revenue or having to put another person in to do that person's job while they're missing. So it's a really great benefit.
Yeah, that's really good, because I think you only get about £60 a day, don't you, when you're on jury service? So that's an enormous loss to most small businesses, isn't it?
That's
So
right, yes.
That is fantastic. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Anita. Well, we'll come back to you a bit later if there's anything else that you feel that you want to go into. But I'll have a little chat now. We'll chat with a member, one of our FSB members, and let us find out how he gets on with using the benefits and what he gets out of his FSB membership, basically. So turning over to you now, Jonathan, if you could just give us a little overview of what FSB does for you.
Yeah, thanks, Ness. And it's great to see you, Anita, and you, James, because both of you were responsible for me joining the FSB. So to explain that a little bit more, I've been in corporate management for about 30 years, and then due to the death of my brother, I had to leave the easy life in Nottingham to take over his Cornish farm with no experience of running my own business. Now, that's when I could have done with FSB help. I had to learn really fast on how to be a farmer, manage my accounts, look after a herd of cows and milk them and feed them and run it as a business. And I didn't know anyone to seek advice from. And so like a lot of businesses starting up on their own, it can be a really lonely place. So whilst farming, I had the biggest shock. And the biggest shock really was that I was subjected to a 3-day tax investigation with HMRC. So James, I could have done with you then. And they went through my accounts and all my finances, and I got to come in on the 3rd day of the HMRC investigation. And there I was like interrogated, and it really did make me feel like a criminal. And I sat there and answered every question HMRC fired at me, to the point when I sort of asked in desperation, just tell me what you're looking for, because I really don't know what it is. And if I do know, I will tell you, obviously. To which, HMRC sort of came back to me, and to my surprise, they said my accounts were in such good order, the best they've ever seen from a dairy farmer in Cornwall, which, I've never seen another dairy farmer's accounts, but they said they'd never seen such good accounts for a dairy farmer in Cornwall, that they wanted to know the reason why. And obviously, under my breath, I never said it, but I felt like saying, well, I'm not a Cornish pirate, So, from that day, I took out tax investigation insurance with my accountant until I met Anita Johnson, who's the FSB membership advisor. And that was back, Anita, a long time ago, back in 2017. And you told me that tax investigation was included in the FSB membership. So I think around that time I was paying with my accountant something like £95 per year for tax investigation protection, and the FSB membership in 2017 wasn't really that much more. So I signed up immediately, especially had started up my new business strategy group. So the tax investigation protection and the many other benefits FSB membership offers is really a no-brainer. And I know that HMRC can investigate you whether your accounts are good, which was in my case, or bad. And believe me, the cost of investigation is not cheap and is totally stressful. So also sort of knowing that the FSB tax investigation team are made up of ex-HMRC personnel is a real bonus. And I really want them in my corner should I ever get another investigation, which hopefully I won't. Hopefully I've got a green mark against my name after having the all clear. But there are obviously so many other benefits, Ness, that I gained from FSB. And, I'm happy to cover that later when you ask me to speak again.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much. And as you say, a really scary time for you. And you could have done with FSB in your corner, couldn't you, really? But you've got us now. Thanks so much, Jonathan. And of If I could just turn to Carmen, you're a development manager. So what does development managers do and how can they help our members?
So yeah, development managers, we have a host of things that we have to do, but effectively the best way to describe it is we're the extra support outside of all the amazing benefits that you get with a membership. So I'll just briefly go through a few of those points, but you know, we have to lead on a lot of different issues. So one of them is around advocacy. So we are there to identify local issues, to do a lot of evidence gathering, case studies and research. And if you do have issues or there are things you need to highlight, the easiest way for you to do that is to fill in the quarterly small business index survey that we do. A lot of small businesses don't necessarily either have the time or they just, you know, kind of don't have the inclination to reach out to development managers and tell them what's going on. So the best way to do that is with those surveys. They're really important because they tell us what issues small businesses in each area are dealing with. And then that's what essentially brings about our campaigning and our lobbying. So that takes me smoothly onto campaigning. So in that area, our roles really are to raise awareness of both national and local campaigns. And if there are issues locally that are problematic to small businesses, if we can't deal with them on the ground in that area, then we will raise them up to our team in Westminster, and they take our inquiries really seriously. So they're a great support, and you never know what might come of that. They are really great at picking out an issue in one small area and then looking at the nation nationally and seeing if there's any other issues attaining to that in other places, and then they'll start campaigning on that, which is excellent. We also have a public affairs role. So we represent small businesses in order to bring about change, whether that's through sort of dealing with our stakeholders, local councils, local MPs. We have meetings with all of those all of the time. And that's really useful for us when we're signposting. If you need support, whether it be funding, whatever that might be, that's where we get all our information from. And it's always most current and up to date. We also do deal with the media. So this isn't just about FSB and promoting FSB in the media. This is about promoting you, our members, in the media. So it's really imperative that when you sign up to membership, there's a box that you'll tick as to whether or not you want to be communicated to by us. So whether that be newsletters, the minute you tick that, we can't reach out to you with these kinds of opportunities. So it's really important that when you do the signs up, and please go back today and check, just make sure that that box unticks, and then every time that we have any opportunities, and you know, it's not always negative, although we have had cases where maybe somebody had a more negative story, something that wasn't, you know, favorable. But I'll give you a prime example. We had a business who was really struggling, that was highlighted in a local news piece, and it actually had really beneficial consequences for that member, because what happened was the next day he had a queue of customers right outside the door. They just hadn't realized his business was struggling. But likewise, if you've got really good news stories, if you've got, you know, if you've won awards and all of them kind of things, we want to be your cheerleader. We want to tell everybody about that. So that's another element. We also do lots of events work. So we create networking opportunities and business support events. And we do lots of things online as well. And then member support, that's just our basic role. So we're there if we want to know your stories. As I said, we can signpost you to different support avenues and things like that. And then last but not least, we also support and guide our community of volunteers. So we have excellent volunteers like Jonathan, and he is very involved, but we also have some light touch volunteers. And really, we appreciate any time that you would want to give up for the FSB. You are naturally our best ambassadors. And so if you are looking for volunteering opportunities or any of the other things that I've just spoke about, please reach out to development managers and make yourself known to them. We're always happy to hear from you. And that's your best way, really, of letting us know about issues that you're dealing with. But also for us to have a look and see what we can do to support you outside of, like I say, natural sort of the normal avenues such as business support, things like that. We want to be your biggest cheerleaders, and we need you to help to do that.
Thanks so much, Carmen. And I understand that there are development managers like you up and down the country, aren't there?
Yeah, so every region has a development manager, and so it's really easy to find out who yours is. So if you go on the FSB website, we have regional news pages where that will tell you who your local development manager is. But you can also, if you go on events, look for local events in your area, and usually when you click on them, that will also tell you who they are. And I will add as well, if you are, always follow us on the socials, because we give you the most up-to-date information for your areas on there, and our regional news pages as well. They're super helpful.
Lovely, great. It's great to know that that support is there and that you campaign for people. I remember there was something recently where lots of shops had problems with a diversion that was literally taking their trade away, wasn't it? And you were able to get on board with that and support them and help them and campaign for them so that the footfall came back again to that area. Really, really great. Thanks very much, Carmen. Okay, Anita, if I could turn to you now, I think if it's possible, could you just show people a little bit about what the legal hub looks like and what people can actually expect to see, and when they go on to that?
Yes, of course.
Thank
Just
you.
a second. Right, can everybody see that? That's me landed on my login. All right, so this is what you guys should see when you log in. A couple of things I just wanted to point out along the way here, because I did give you a very whistle-stop tour of your benefits. From this dashboard, if you scroll down as a member, if you come down to here, you can see your member benefits. And if you want to spend more time or learn more about them, you can either ring one of the membership advisors and they will talk you through it in detail, or you can come in here and you can just unwrap a subject and take a closer look at it. So if you come in here and click on learn more, it will tell you all of the features and benefits of that particular item. And it can go into lots of detail or just a little bit of detail, depending on what it is you want to learn. So just wanted to show you where that was. Also, again, if you wanted to use the FSB logo, which a lot of people do as a bit of a soft accreditation for their business, you can come in here and there are 6 different versions of this logo. You can use this logo any way you like on your advertising, your website, your head note paper, and display the fact that you are a proud FSB member. So here's where I said to you about coming on here and finding the legal hub. You can see here, second item down on the list is the FSB Legal and Business Hub. So if we click on that one, I'm going to warn you that I'm going to be a little bit lost because this has just today been refreshed as an environment that we get taken to. So I'm used to steering my way around the old legal hub, and there may be a lot of members on here who've used the same thing themselves before. So this is going to be quite interesting for me as well, just to have a look at this in its new form. You can see it did take quite a long time for that to load, and there's a good reason for that. Don't throw your computer out of the window and think it's not working. It is because this is an extremely resource heavy part of our website, so it does take a minute to load. So this is really nice, actually. I've not seen this before. Okay, so we're on the home page here. And this is going to show us how intuitive this is, really, isn't it? Because I'm going to have to find my way around here from scratch. So let's have a look at the Legal and Business Hub resources. And do you remember I said to you, you would see a number of icons when you come in here. These have been replaced by some very nice photographs, but we still have the same theme. So for each thing that you're looking at, you can see in here there are different subjects. So I'm just going to quickly pop into employment for you. And in here, you can see, again, a load more subjects. So you might be coming in here because perhaps you need to make somebody redundant, or perhaps you're having a problem with an employee. But most often people come in here because they need an employment contract or they'd like to create a staff handbook. That's sort of one of the main uses. So you come in here and straight away you can see contracts and status. So I'm going to show you to where you would find the contract of employment. So you can come into here, and then you'll see a number of different things highlighted. And let's see if we can find contract clause. Lots of things. You can get a good overview of some of the things that are on here. So if you wanted to stop somebody from doing another business at the same time, then there's a contract clause here that says you can't have any, or if you can, what the limitations on that are. Stop me if you see. So here we go, 0 hours contract. So as you're probably aware, when you employ people, you've got a few different types of contract. You've got flexible working, you've got fixed term, you've got 0 hours, or you may just have a full-time contract of employment. And in here, you will find all the different types of employment contract, and indeed how to create a staff handbook. So do familiarize yourself with these icons, because there is lots and lots of information, not just the documents themselves, but as you can see here, there are guides to help you too. So let me see, resource. This is handy, the document index, if this works the same as it did before. Which yes, it does. It just looks slightly different. So in here, you can see that again, you've got the subjects. So if you wanted to, if you weren't sure what a document is called, you can come in here and you can just look for it by title alphabetically. So let's say you needed a business to business contract. So you can come in under contracts and trading, and you'll notice now that everything is alphabetical. So business to business, contract for services, there it is, and you can download it. And here's the little help box I told you about earlier. So if you come in here, if you don't know it's called a business to business contract for services, but you want a document that does that, you can come in here. And as I said, if you click something else, probably shouldn't be telling you this, your answer bot will turn into an advisor. So you can say, can you find me something that allows me to do business with people, and it sets out my terms and conditions, and they will go away and find you the right one. So it's a really lovely service in there from them. Again, hopefully there's the telephone number, so you can ring that and somebody call you back in an hour with the right specialist solicitor. Or if you don't want to talk to somebody, you can just come in here and book it. So that's really handy as well. Now I'm hoping I can find the paid for elements, because that's something that people very often want to use. Let me see, where are we going to find that? Business tools. There we go. Instruct Markel. So this is where you would come. So let's say, as I mentioned to you earlier, maybe you're in construction and you want somebody to be your competent health and safety person. So that's the person that would stand up for you in court if you had a problem, and they help you to make sure that your health and safety is all as it should be. So you can instruct, you can either say, yeah, I think I'll have that, and you can pop it in your basket. If you don't know how much it's going to be, because it does say here starting from, then putting that one to on will arrange a call. So they will agree the scope and the cost of the service, let you know what it is before you commit to it. So it's a great way to go in and have a look. Also, let's very quickly look in here. If you don't want to do an employment contract, or if you want to review your own, you can see very clearly £495, and you can just purchase whatever it is you need. So lots and lots of help in the Legal Hub. Business tools. Another, have I got a couple more minutes, or do you need me to finish? How are we doing this?
Yeah, go on, you can have another
Yeah.
couple of minutes.
Okay, there's a couple of other things in here. So under debt recovery, for example, if you're struggling getting payments in from your customers, there's a great guide in here. I recommend you download it and have a look. I love this little toy here. I use it in my own business. So if somebody owes you money, then we have a calculator that will work out how much you can charge them in late payment and interest charges. I can't find the link to get through to the actual payment calculator. Where is it? Let's put yes. Okay, so you have to have it in your terms and conditions before you can use this. Once you've said yes, then you come in here. So let's say that it's 60 days late. Well, what would be the date? Oh no, that's a contracted date, sorry. 30 days terms on your invoice. It was due on the 1st of June and they still haven't paid you. 1st of June 2023. And it should calculate, so where's the amount? Invoice value, let's say it was £3,000. It will tell you straight away what you can charge in late payment and interest charges. So if you're a business owner that's dealing regularly with debt, then this is a great place to go and get some help with that. And if you then need us to help, you can either use a free letter before action template and you can send it to them, or you can pay Markel Law £30 plus VAT, which is an incredible deal, and they will send a letter before action to the person that owes you money, and that will be on headed paper from Markel Law, and they will then chase up with a phone call or a letter to see if they can actually get the debt in for you. So there's loads of help on here. I've only kind of skimmed the surface. I hope it's given you a bit of a feel to go in and have a play with this yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita. That's brilliant. There's so much on there, isn't there? I just can't believe
There
it is on there. So you just recommend that people go in and have a little look around and see what's on there, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And if they get stuck, just either ask the help box or phone in to the customer services and say, I'm getting a bit lost here. Can you tell me where I can find something? And they will come back and help you.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. And that was a sneak preview actually for everyone, wasn't it, really? Because I think that new version has only just been launched this week.
It has. Yeah, you landed me right in it there, Ness.
Sorry
I had
about
no
that.
idea where I was going.
I think the idea is to try and it was to try and make it a bit easy for people to find stuff because there's so much information on there. So well done for navigating it.
Thank
you. Before we go over to questions, can I just turn back to Jonathan very quickly? Jonathan, you said you're an FSB volunteer, and could you just tell us a little bit about that, just quickly, because I do want to answer some questions as well.
Yeah, certainly, and thanks for that whistle tour, Anita. We're lucky to have you in Plymouth because every day with you is a learning day, so that was really cool. So well done on that. As the Plymouth area lead for FSB and so forth, that's been really, really good for ourselves. It actually opens a lot of doors and so forth. But I mean, what it's enabled us to do is also help FSB members and so forth just do what Anita said and point them in the right direction. And you know, for me anyway, I certainly enjoy being on the Devon virtual meetings, networking meetings and so forth, because you meet some fantastic people, but also it has opened doors for me, because if you've got a passion for helping businesses and so forth, people want to see you and want to talk to you. And so it has opened doors for me to work with business leaders in Plymouth, be part of the Plymouth Growth Board and support the Skills Launchpad Plymouth, you know, to help the youth into employment and also the employers employing people, you know. And it's good to know that Plymouth is 0.5% below the national average for unemployment, so we're going in the right direction and all that sort of stuff. So it is a really good supporting mechanism for people who actually want to actually network in an area, support businesses in the area, and do work. But what I really do like about FSB is I use a number of the benefits and some of the skills and training I use for my staff as well, which is really cool. But also FSB are really great to get you up-to-date answers, you know, from their events, and they're always a phone call away, or if you need that little bit of information. It just an example, just this morning, you know, I was asked by an FSB member if there was any funding to support his son's startup business, and I emailed Carmen, who's on the panel today, who's our business development manager, and within an hour she gave me a whack of stuff about funding and so forth that I really forgot about, because there's so much happening and there's so much knowledge in FSB, you can't carry it in your head. But if you can sort of build up a family of supporters and helpers and so forth, there's always someone who knows something that's going to help someone else, if not yourself. So, you know, FSB is very much like a family full of helpful people. And I would say make use of them, but also make sure that you don't disconnect, you know, you don't sort of like make the mistake of actually turning off your notifications for FSB, because when you do that, you'll wonder why you're in FSB. If you keep on the notifications, you'll understand how beneficial being a member is of FSB. You might not need the information at the time, but there is going to be at some stage a point in your business career that you're going to need that information and you'll know where to get it. So that's it really. It's did I answer the question?
Absolutely, you did. Thank you. It's so good to hear from a member who is getting such a lot from being an FSB member, and you did that. You told us exactly really well. Thank you. And anybody can get involved, and the best way to get involved is to contact your development manager, and they will point you in the right direction. Okay, anybody got anything else on the panel that they'd like to say before we go to the questions? James, did you have anything else you wanted to mention?
I would just make the comment that, you know, the FSB membership is very wide and varied, and, you know, people join for different reasons. One of the things that I've experienced over my time doing what I do, and say since since being with Markel, is speaking to members at times who weren't aware that they had the tax cover. That's something that does crop up. You know, we have a lot of calls that come through on the advice line from FSB members who are looking for that support. And the reality is that people join the FSB for many different reasons, because it is so wide and varied in the benefits, which is great in itself. But sometimes they forget that there are some benefits there that they could be utilising. So this is just it's a nice opportunity to remind members what they do have access to if they need it. I mean, hopefully certain things, you know, nobody wants a tax investigation or a VAT inquiry, but it is the reality of being in business. So it's just a nice opportunity to remind members that it's there if they need it. And if in doubt, as I say, happy to speak to anyone. I know there are some questions in the chat box or the Q&A box, sorry, so I haven't commented on those, but I think you'll probably be coming back to me on some of those in a second.
I will do. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Carmen, any final comments?
No, again, it's a privilege really to represent FSB members, and it's very difficult for us as development managers when we don't hear from members, because we really want to engage with you. And even if it's just, if you give us a call and you say, we'd love for you to come down, see what's going on, we'd love to just even have a cup of tea with you. Me and Ness have been known to go out and meet members in various areas.
Yeah.
We'll give you some freebies.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, we definitely are, and we like to think of ourselves as an extension of your business support. And so, as I said, it's just really important. Reach out to us, even if you just want to brew, even if you're not sure that what you want to talk about is relevant. It's all relevant if it's concern to you, or if you want to share it. So yeah, just engage with us, and we really appreciate that.
Lovely, thank you. Because our mission is to help and support small businesses. That's what we're here for, and that's what we love doing. And yeah, just reach out to us, as Carmen says. Thank you. Anita, any last thoughts from you?
No, I think perhaps we ought to try and jump on some of these questions for people before they have to go. So do you want to aim any of them at me, or do you want to go through them in order?
Well, I will just go through them in order, I think. We've got somebody asking about can the HMRC tax support give pre-advice to set up and having everything audit ready before an investigation? So that's obviously one for you, James.
Yeah, I think it's the question's aimed at what they can do to maybe protect yourself from an inquiry. It's always difficult to do that because you never know why HMRC might have selected you. They do a lot of risk assessment nowadays. I think without knowing all the circumstances, if there's an accountant involved, you would expect that maybe the accountant is guiding the member in terms of what records should be kept. From our point of view, I suppose doing a pre-review isn't an incident in itself, but I'd always be happy to speak to anyone who was looking for some general guidance on what they should be doing in terms of keeping records and so on. So that keeping good records is always great, but as Jonathan said earlier on, it doesn't exclude you or exempt you from having a tax inquiry at any point in time, because there can be many reasons why HMRC come knocking.
Thank you very much. I was just answering a question. Somebody asked how often the webinars are, and I was just answering that online to say that they're every other month. Next one is, I think, something like the 23rd of November. Are there additional costs for these services, the tax help, the HR assistance and staff handbook? Anita, over to you, really, because obviously.
Yeah, sure. Most of the things that are in the membership are free. So the tax advice line is free. If you have an inquiry and you've joined after you've been sent your letter of investigation, you will get some free advice on sort of where to go and what to do. But if you would like them to act for you, they can do it, but there would then be a cost associated with that. So being a member beforehand is probably the best route if you can do that. Certainly in terms of HR assistance, everything to do with HR is included in the membership unless you want to pay us to do the work. So that's why I showed you, if you can earn more than £495 for a couple of hours of work, go away and do that, and we can do it as experts for you. But everything that you need to do with HR is free. All of the support, all the advice lines from the HR specialist solicitors to guide you through issues like long-term sickness, bullying, harassment, racism issues, whatever it might be that crops up, we can advise you for free. And the staff handbook, yes, we can give you the guidance to put that together, and all of the policies that you need are free to put that together. So most of the bolt-ons here are like optional things that you may want that we've added in at the request of members. So there's training available, you can pay for it if you want to. There's the payroll system, which is £5 a payslip, you can pay for it if you want to. And perks, which is an addition, which you can pay for if you want to. I'm pretty sure that the rest of it that I've mentioned is free of charge. So any questions on that, just do come back to us and we will answer it in depth for you. Oh, you're on mute, Ness.
Sorry about that. Is there a minimum duration of membership before people can use the benefits, Anita?
No, as soon as they've joined, they can jump straight in and start using it.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, the next one was all about contracts of employment. Are they a payable extra? You've answered that one already. Someone's asking, how do you find out who my development manager is? Carmen, is there a list somewhere of all the development managers?
Yeah, so as I say, if they tell us actually which region they're in, I can have a really quick look for them.
South Lincolnshire, this was.
South Lincolnshire. Yeah, I'll pop an answer in there in just a moment. But yeah, the easiest way really is, like I say, if you go on the FSB website, if you pop in for the regional news, it will tell you all the staff within that region. So for example, if you're looking at the Southwest, it will break down each area, and then next to it, it will tell you the development managers are and any extra information. That's a really easy way. Also, the other alternative is to look at local events, and usually towards the bottom it will tell you the development managers in them areas are.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. And we have a question specifically on perks, Anita.
Yeah, so perks, as I did explain, it is one of the bolt-ons. So I'd like to make the difference here between FSB Care and FSB Perks. So
Right.
Care is a right of membership. It can give you a course of treatment. So let's say you've got a bad back, it's available even if it's pre-existing before you join us, you can still utilize it. You can book a course of treatment up to the value of £250, as long as your GP says it's safe, and the FSB will help you with that as a benefit of membership. You can also access up to 3 years one-to-one support from either a mental health or general nurse practitioner. Again, there's a lot more detail to that, and I can give it to you, but if you do contact me later for it, because we're running out of time on the questions, I'm sorry. Perks is the employee assistance program, which you would pay for individually for either yourselves or your members of staff or your senior management team. It's something you can add into what you are doing. It's really, really good value for money, and it starts at £4.50 a month or £45 a year. Or you can upgrade it to Perks Rise, which I think is £6.50 a month or £65 a year, and that will give additional mental health benefits like face-to-face counselling.
Okay, well, thank you all so very much. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. These sessions always go by so quickly, but it will be available as a recording on our on-demand hub within probably a couple of days. if not sooner. I'm Vanessa Gale at fsb.org.uk. If you've got any questions that haven't been answered, please get in touch with me and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you all very much for coming along today, and hopefully you found the session useful. Thank you, Jonathan, James, Carmen, and Anita, and hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you. Wait, Ness, we staying on for a bit for chat, or we?
How you doing, Jonathan?